This week for the children's message, I wanted to talk about projects. When you have something that you want to accomplish, but it's gonna take some work to get there. And I thought that a good way to think about that might be to take a look at building blocks, because there are so many things that you can make out of building blocks, and stories that you can create to go along with whatever you're building too. No matter what you want to make out of them, at some point, you have to start. And then you have to keep going. And you know, I think that is a good lesson for us to remember. Not just with building blocks, but with any project or anything that we're working on. We're going to have to consider what it is that we want to accomplish or what we want to build. And we're going to have to consider what the best way to do that would be, how to best start. But at some point, we're going to have to start the project. And then if we want to finish what we're working on, we're going to have to keep going. Are we always going to get it right? Maybe not. But if we don't do anything, then we won't build anything either. With these blocks, if we hadn't started and kept working on this, they would all still just be individual blocks on this table. And like I said, this applies to more than just building blocks. We're going to have a lot of things that we're going to be working on throughout our lives. And whether they're big things or small things, we need to remember that we have to start them and then we have to keep going with them. And we're going to hear a little bit more about that in the gospel lesson in the sermon, how Jesus' disciples had to keep going to continue what they needed to work on. And how God was with them throughout all of that. And we need to remember that God is with us in whatever we do as well. So why don't we say a prayer about that for today, and you can pray along with me. Dear God, we know that we are going to have a lot to do in our lives and a lot of projects to work on. We ask that you would help us to see where we need to start and then give us the strength and the courage to keep going. And in whatever we do, we ask that you would be with us always and guide us and lead us in our lives. Amen.